Hey everybody, this is Mariah with Second Wind Homestead, and let's start our garden tour here in the front yard this afternoon. Up front here we have my poblano, which is putting on new fruit. A good 4 to 5 feet tall now. That basil is still going strong. My jalapenos down there have some good fruit. That carrot and the ginger and that one Swiss chard in there doing well. The Nanking cherry, wonderful. My zinnias starting to get blooms. I love it. That watermelon back there, look at him. He goes all the way over past the green bucket and comes up. He's way back on the green bucket on the left side. All over up here. He comes all the way down. He's climbed up, over, and through the oregano. All the way out over here. And he goes all the way out over here. I mean, look at that. He's doing, this is just incredible. He's doing really well. And he goes all the way back over here. I had to keep it from climbing under the van. And I've got, let me see it right here in the oregano. We have a tiny little watermelon starting. Hopefully it got pollinated well, and that'll be a good fruit for us. Mystery squash, looking a little yellow, but we did fertilize this week. It's got some blooms starting. The big rock bed was always that my monstrous rosemary and oregano. My thyme's doing well. The mint over here, I said that tomato and the peppers bit the dust. This pepper though is doing well, and we've actually got a pepper on there, which I'm going to guess based on what I grew last year, since that was a volunteer. I'm thinking maybe cowhorn pepper. This jalapeno is doing well. This tomato, look, see, same thing's happening, guys. Whatever's hitting my things. I've only got one fruit on there. And it's not looking so hot, and neither is the plant, so I don't know. Same thing with the chocolate cherry. I have a few fruit ripening, but the plant's not looking so great. I don't know. The eggplant, we have some new blooms on it, so it's doing all right. And my lime, look, I have little bitty, hopefully well-pollinated limes on there. These tomatoes, there's still some fruit hanging on them I haven't picked yet, but they're gone. We'll be ripping those out. Oh, my persimmon. Let's see. And my persimmon. Oh no, I lost a fruit. Oh, man. That persimmon fell off. Well, shoot. So I'm down to, let's see, 1. I've got another big one over there, 2, and so I'm down to 3 fruit now. Well, we'll have to hope I get at least one of these out of here, hopefully. Walking up around lemon, still doing the same. Still got 4 fruit on it, thankfully. This persimmon's hanging in there. It's looking a little rough. The Japanese beetles have been out and about. This pepper, something came along and nibbled the whole top of it off. I have no idea. These tomatoes, I don't know. They're iffy. That pepper's so-so. He's not looking great, but he's not horrible. The volunteer melon of some sort. Look, he's all the way over here and along the trellis, and he goes through the blueberry bush and all into that crazy jungle of that bed out there. And I have actually seen, I think, 2 fruit on him so far. Now, I'm not sure what kind of melon. I grew about 5 different kinds last year, so I don't know which of the melons that's a volunteer from, but hey, if it'll produce fruit, I'm going to leave it be. Let me see if I can show you. Walk around the trellis here. I can show. Yeah, there we go. See, we got 1 melon right there on the ground. And then there's another one hiding up under the foliage there. So that one's doing great. My snapdragon's looking a little worse for wear. Probably pinch off some more seeds and see if we get another little burst. If not, No biggie, I'll start some seeds in another bucket. Up front, basil's still doing all right. The ground cherries are sprawling. We've gotten a couple off of here. Tower's doing fine, other than I need to come out and spray with BT because got the cabbage worms back. But the basil's gotten large. That basil's very big. And this scorpion pepper, I don't know if you can tell, it's starting in the very bottom tier. And it is all the way, this is part of it, and all the way up past the top of the tower. And it's got one definite fruit on it, but a whole bunch more blooms. And then the habanero that's tucked under it is loaded with fruit. It has at least 5 or 6 on there so far. So, and the scorpion is forming some new fruit. And like I said, it's loaded with blooms, so we should get some decent stuff out of it. The wheelbarrow, my echinacea are all blooming. I love those. Like I said, the kale got hit with the cabbage worms too, so definitely come out with the BT at some point here. Over here, I think we're looking a little heat raggled, but we do have some beans. We've harvested some off this week once we came back from our small trip, and we've got some more on here. A few more forming, but they're doing all right. Most of them seem to be okay. I still got to pull out this dead sugar snap. It's doing all right. Audrey's kiwi, she put a pinwheel up so the birdies wouldn't get her kiwi. Not that there's any fruit on it yet, but it's all the way. It's probably 6 foot up the trellis or more. This tomato, which I'm kind of scared to touch, and I'm showing a little bit of signs on some of the leaves, it seems to be doing okay so far, and it is almost at the height of the trellis, so maybe it will escape the death that has killed all other tomatoes in my yard this year. The mint's still doing really well. It's still trying to climb up. It actually looks like it's starting to flower. This mint, the stevia is still way over the edge. Let's see. On this side we've got the experimental potatoes. They were doing great, but I think while we were gone and nobody was out here to shoe things, something came and ate most of the tops of all these potatoes. So that might have been the end of this patch, but we'll see. That volunteer zipper there, shooting out its runners. The okra's doing well. It's finally started to really put some growth on. They're probably over a foot tall now, easy. I did see a couple sunflowers that managed to survive in there. There's a couple marigolds we planted. Those onion seeds should be close to ready. We got just a couple onions left. I think I've only got 1 or 2 that I left in here as actual onions. The rest are all in bloom. Fig's doing well. Oh, I think I see a ripe one up there I need to try and get before the birds. I'll have to figure out how to get up to the top of that tree. It's taller than me. And that zipper pea that's climbing up my volunteer here, he's loaded with zippers all the way up. He's actually got a tendril here. But now a trick with zippers, because I had to learn this the hard way my first year, especially when you grow a bunch. You can pick them at any point once they start filling out and looking like they've got good beans or peas in there. The trick, you want to let them turn. This one's just starting, but you want to let them turn just the littlest bit yellow. They should have a yellow tinge. Now, you can't let it go too far because they very quickly go from perfect to almost you're turning into dried peas, which is fine if you want dried peas. If you pick them when they're yellow like this, they shell so much easier. You can literally pull the string down like a zipper and just peel the sides right open and shell them. When they're green, the pods do not want to peel like that. I've got another one over here that's ready. But yeah, when they're green, the pods do not, you constantly just breaking little pieces off, and it's a pain. It's so much faster if you just pick when they're that littlest bit yellow. They come apart so easy and shell so much faster. On this side of the trellis, I said our big white eggplants are doing really well. They're getting big. The purple one, the Black Beauty over there, is doing well. And that plant, shoot, that plant's like 3 feet tall. The purple eyes are doing well. We got another couple up here I'll probably have to pick. A couple on the plant. The asparagus beans doing all right, hanging in there. Let's see. Yeah, here's another one starting. And they're still blooming all up and down it, so they're doing okay. This tomato too, like I said, I haven't touched anything on this one. He's doing really well. He's gotten nice and tall. I'm leaving him be. The zucchini that I had up here, I don't know, when we went on our trip, I don't know if they got too hot or if something came in and got them, or if, you know, those squash reservoirs were out again. It looks like they might have been, because look, I got damage down there. Alright, I don't feel too bad now. I couldn't have prevented that. But then the loofah, these three up here are gone. That tomato back there is trying its hardest. The loofah is doing well. It's climbing all the way up, almost totally to the top middle of it now. My tires, I did lose the Santa Claus melon that was in this first tire, so I just have the Jack B. Little now, and he's looking really rough. The white pumpkins there, those look excellent. Those are the best looking ones of the bunch. Everything else, it's holding in. It's not looking spectacular. I said we did come and fertilize, I think it was yesterday, and watered in really well. So, and the sugar babies are trying. Hopefully that'll help get them through. Like I said, when we were on the trip, they didn't get watered. I was hoping the afternoon showers would come along like they had been and help us out, but I don't know. It didn't look horrible when we got home, but our squash over here on the side, other than needing to just weed even more, we had the one here that was the mystery one that was crawling along the bricks here and out. Well, it got hit by the squash vine borer. You can see the dead one, but I buried the stem in several spots. This end's still green, so I don't know if it'll make it or not. Oh, and it sent out, this whole runner here is one it sent out from before the damage, so maybe it'll be alright. This one over here, it's doing well. It's growing. It's spreading out. Audrey's zucchinis look okay. My strawberry tower, crazy as always. Still getting some fruit off of it here and there. Now the cucumbers, guys. This has been so much fun. To be excited over something so simple, but I've never had cucumbers work, so this is great this year. We have already pulled 6 or 7 large cucumbers off of here. And you can see we got another one going there, and they're just loaded. I've got little female blooms everywhere. I've got a couple more on this side. You can see the cucumbers just everywhere in there. So these have been great. I've actually got one hanging off the side over here I saw earlier. Hanging off the side here. We have a nice one. Another couple days, that one will be nice and big. The zippers, the crazy zippers here, all the way up the trellis, and they are spread out on the top, hunting for somewhere else to go. I don't know if you can see over there. They're like hanging out, trying to find something else to hook onto. These, we've had them years before, like when we had a plum tree in the front that didn't make it after a drought one year, but it was probably 10 feet tall. We had zippers that had volunteered, ran over to the tree and climbed up the top of the tree, and were still searching for somewhere to go. So zippers will definitely take over some space, but they're already producing. We got beans all along. They're blooming all up of it. Yeah, look at all these little ones here. So we should definitely get some good zippers this year if the deer don't come clean us out. Aquaponics. The celery's all starting to look a little wonky, so it's definitely time for me to come rip out the celery, process up what I can. Tower's doing all right. The little basil seedlings out here, I don't know if something's got to them, but they're not looking near as good as they should be looking at this point. Audrey's Tiny Tim is still sort of hanging in there. I need to probably pull out some more of those strawberries that aren't producing. Peppers up here, we have harvested all the big ones, but we have some new. This one's starting to get some color. This one's got another pepper or two on it. The little sweet snacking, we've pulled a few off of. Those green onions back there, I definitely can harvest those out and have something nice with them. And last but not least, up here on the front porch, the derpy peppers. They're doing all right. We still have, like I said, some of those leaves and they're showing disease, but other than that, I mean, they're blooming. They're trying to put fruit on. I just hope and pray, and maybe we'll get something out of them. And my poor front porch table here. All my little things on here are doing all right. I don't know if you just heard the owl. My aloe, my big aloe there. My pineapples, still looking good. I got one little aloe here. Those I have got to figure out this week where to put them. And my aloes over here are still doing all right. I've got new little babies coming up all in them. And my rosemary, they're doing well. And it looks like I had given them up for dead, but let's see. This is a rose that I started from a cutting. I'll have to pull that grass out, but it's still green. There's hope for that one. And this one was a pomegranate. I had tried to root. I think I did 5 or 6 of them. I'd already pulled the others out of the dirt figuring they weren't going to work. I noticed today this one has green on it. So I may actually get a pomegranate out of this after all. But that's it for today, guys. Thanks for joining us. As always, God bless you. I hope you have a great week. And please join us next time. Don't forget to click a like on this video if you liked it and subscribe to the channel so you know when we've got something new going. Thanks. Have a good week.